She got you with love.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. I go, get your friend out of here. No one wants her here. Okay. And she was like, okay. And then her son was like, thank you. That was very disrespectful to my mother. And I was like, okay, man, we're good. I got to go back and host this disaster that I created. Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst.
Such a train wreck.
Well, some people just think that if you're saying something they disagree with, they don't think that they need to just like wait it out. They think they can stop you in the middle.
Yeah.
And the problem for me in particular, like a lot of my bits start off one way, like they look like they're going to be way more outrageous than they are, and then I turn them around.
Sure.
But when I'm starting it off, and then you just attack, like you're fucking up the bit. Like you don't even understand what I'm doing.
It's the whole thing about freedom of speech in a weird way. I had a joke about pedophilia, and I just started it, and the woman, this woman who was a fan of mine and everything, she just goes, "No, stop."
Oh, yeah,
and then now it looks like I'm pro pedophilia. I haven't gotten to the fucking punchline. It just looks like I'm into fucking kids, because now I'm not allowed to finish it.
No, those people shouldn't be allowed at shows because they're not even letting the art form take place.
Yeah, you can't.
You crafted something. You're like, let it play out.
You can't do that. I mean, they should just kick you out. You just you're fucking up the whole experience for the whole crowd because, like a guy like Brian Holtzman would literally never be able to perform if the audience is filled with people like that.
Yeah.
So people like you and I who enjoy him, we would never be able to see him because his whole act is saying outrageous shit like that absolutely he doesn't really mean.
Right.
But the funny thing is the twists and the turns,
right?
And getting you to laugh at this.
The
stuff.
other funny thing is that he's supposed to act like he does mean it.
Yes.
Like that's what's funny.
Yes.
It's like that people are like always like, they get super upset about this thing and it's like he said this and that. Like, yeah, but don't you get that it's the performance?
I used to have this joke about the Second Coming Project. Do you know what the Second Coming Project is?
Mm-mm.
When they first started fucking around with genes and cloning, there was a group of radical Christians that had this idea. I think it might have been bullshit eventually, but what their idea was, they were going to take some genetic material from the Shroud of Turin and they were going to clone Jesus. And so my bit was, what if you clone Jesus and it doesn't come out good? Like, they had to do Dolly the sheep like 30 times until they got it right. Like, what if you clone Jesus and he comes back handicapped?
Mm-hmm.
And I had this whole fucked up thing about them following around this handicapped Jesus. And instead of turning water into wine, he turns like dog shit into cookies. And so like, this lady goes, next subject.
Oh,
and she's sitting in the front row. So I did the bit to her. I just looked her in the eyes and I kept doing it. By the power of Christ, I compel you. And I was doing. It was a horrible bit. It's like we're talking like 1998 or some shit like that, right? So it was clunky anyway. But she's literally saying next subject.
Oh yeah.
Which is I'm never gonna listen to you. Like what?
No way.
That's like when you tell someone shut the fuck up. Like why would they shut the fuck up? That doesn't work.
No.
Nobody. You want them to shut the fuck up, but you have no understanding of the power of persuasion or the fact that other people aren't you. Like you're not in control of other people. So if you tell someone shut the fuck up, like that doesn't work. Yeah. This is just a poor way of you don't understand human beings.
Right.
Like you haven't thought this through. You just know what you want, your selfish little head, and so you say it to them. This is how most arguments and most fights get started, because people don't take into consideration at all the fact that they're communicating with another human being, has their own set of emotions, their own life, their own problems, their own ego.
It's true. There's a surefire way at any comedy show to hear more of the same topic is to be like next
subject.
Yeah, no.
Fuck
it's not
you.
the internet.
Yeah,
that's what I sometimes I preface it where I go, hey, you got, like, if you don't like what I'm about to say, because I have a couple things now that are a little, I think, too far. I go, just come talk to me after the show.
Don't even do that.
Just don't interrupt things. I've had people change my mind on bit. Like I had a bit that worked on my podcast very well, and then I tried it in a club, and this black chick came up to me and she's like, it's a really fucked up joke. And I was like, Really?
Was super racist or something?
Was it super racist, like the black guy at CrossFit racist, or
I think it might have been worse.
Really?
I don't know. It didn't bother me, but the black chick in DC was like, I love the show, all of it. I just think.
how many years ago is this?
This is a year ago. And I was like, and part of me is like,
Is it a bit that's in the special then?
no.
Never made it.
No. And so I couldn't. And it's almost like I wanted to tell it, but I could figure it out to work it out, but I didn't want to have to deal with all the fucking
Steps.
Yeah.
all the steps. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to die on that hill. Like
Right.
I don't really talk about race much in my act, so I'm like, I'm not going to die on that hill for that bit.
You know what you got to do with a bit like that? You got to look at it as if you're someone trying to deconstruct it. Like you're someone who's trying to attack that bit.
See, for me, a bit works best the very first time I do it. And then every working bit I do around that to like take it apart and figure out another way to approach it, that's where I start fucking it up.
Really?
It's like the first time I say it, I go, whew, let's hope we can find that again.
I'm the polar opposite.
Oh, no.
Occasionally I'll say something good the first time, but most of the time when I say something, it seems like a sprout or a seed. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe, okay, I gotta. But how much time do you spend listening to recordings?
A lot. A lot now. I look after that last special, I did it obsessively.
Yeah.
And then I got into it. I got into recording. And now what I do is I will bid out. If I don't have video, I like to have video because I think the video aspect really lets me know why things are like.
Right.
I have this